Did you ever work at a club like Studio 54? Did you ever do anything like that as a job before this job?
I didn't. I mean, I didn't work in a club like Studio 54. I worked in a club when I was a bit younger, but I didn't really love working in a club. I then started working in a restaurant in Soho, and then I liked to go to the club afterwards. And I feel like going to the club was a big part of like I was working in a restaurant, I'd go out clubbing with my mates, and then I would wake up in the morning and go to the studio. This was like before I got signed. And that was kind of just like a daily ritual. And I think Studio 54, in the sense, was something that I've just always had a fascination about. I feel like it was kind of the moment in the 70s that really solidified the kind of disco era. And I think I've only been able to like live it through pictures and documentaries and stuff like that. And so I think kind of a combination between me growing up in London and the energy of going out in London, and also that imagination of what maybe it would be like to go to Studio 54 is kind of an amalgamation of what Studio 2054 is. And it's just a lot of fun with amazing like custom built sets and stuff like that. But it's all based on, you know, things that I love very much.
It's so clever and just a great way to navigate how to do things in the moment right now. You know, it's such a weird time. You said you've had to cancel twice. It sucks for an artist. Sucks even more for the fans that are dying to see it, you know. It's a very clever way to get it done. Your song, I know I love the song. I never stop talking about it. But Don't Start Now is such a jam. And it's become an anthem during the pandemic. So how cool is that? Like, I feel like it was an anthem pre-pandemic. But I think, like, especially just the vibe of it, everything, it just makes everyone happy. And, like, we've needed that. So is that just so cool to have a song that just almost transcends your own career? It's just like a bigger than life song. Is that awesome?
It's amazing. I mean, it's always exciting to see these songs kind of take a life of their own. I was so scared to put it out to begin with when it was like November of last year when I was preparing to put it out, because it was so different from anything else that people had heard from me. I was really nervous, but I think sometimes being outside of your comfort zone and doing things that scare you is kind of where you're meant to be in order to like progress.
Yeah, absolutely. I also have to thank you for speaking up for women in music recently. What are your thoughts on the double standard? I mean, we all know it's there.
Yeah, it's definitely there. It's something that I guess we're constantly working towards changing. I feel like it's basically the double standard and the kind of inequality of the way that women are seen and the way men are seen, especially in creative fields. I feel like we need to, especially in music, for example, unless you're on stage with a piano or a guitar, like people immediately think you're manufactured or that you don't write your own music. And we always have to fight that little bit harder, especially when you work in pop music, to really prove that this is what you do and this is your art and this is your story and this is what you're trying to present. And sometimes it can be quite difficult to try and get that across when you're a woman musician in particular. And so I guess it's just, you know, we're not used to working hard. It's something that I guess we've become very accustomed to. But it would be nice to be able to see a little bit more equality in the industry in terms of the way women are perceived, especially when new artists are coming onto the scene, the way that we approach them and accept them and listen to their story and believe them as well.
Yeah, and everyone's different. Like, some people like to play guitar, some people like playing piano, some people like just rocking the vocal cords. You're playing those.
100%.
Like, it's all, and some people don't. I know people that don't love writing. They don't want to really express their story. They're private, and they like to be the vessel for songs, and some of us like writing. I know you and I both love writing as well. But I don't know, I think it's really important, though, that you stand up for, especially women standing up for women. That is when the change will happen. Is when women stop being threatened by women and people pit us against each other. It's like the silliest thing that's ever happened. So, but anyway, I think that we're in charge of changing that a lot as well. So I just thought it was cool. I like how you spoke your mind.